Operation Epic Fury.
Breaking right now, folks, the Trump administration just issued an urgent warning to every single American citizen in the Middle East. Secretary of State Marco Rubio went on camera with a direct message about your safety as Operation Epic Fury continues to rain down justice on the Iranian regime. But here's what the mainstream media won't tell you. While Democrats are busy whining about process and procedure, Republican leaders are laying out exactly why President Trump was absolutely right to act when he did. Iran has been killing Americans for 47 years, and finally we have a commander-in-chief who said enough is enough. So what are the Democrats so afraid of? Well, let me tell you why this matters to you and your family right now. If you have loved ones overseas, if you have family members serving in uniform, if you have business connections in the Middle East, this directly impacts your life. The Trump administration is taking unprecedented steps to protect American citizens abroad while simultaneously dismantling Iran's ability to project power and threaten our allies. Now, this is not some abstract geopolitical chess game. This is about American lives. Now, for decades, the Islamic Republic has murdered our soldiers, attacked our embassies, funded terrorists who target our people. What did previous administrations do? They sent pallets of cash. They begged for nuclear deals. They looked the other way while Americans came home in flag-draped coffins. President Trump looked at the intelligence, saw the Iran missile arsenal was growing every single month into an existential threat, and he made the call that weak leaders refuse to make. The social implications are massive. Our allies in the Gulf states, in Israel, they're watching to see if America still has the backbone to lead. And politically, this is the moment that separates leaders from politicians. And President Trump, well, he's chosen to lead. And we've got all the breaking news. And speaking of protecting what matters most, I do need to ask you something important about your family's financial security, because something is brewing right now. You can feel it. The problems that you never know the full story until after the crash, after the collapse, after it's too late. And here's the brutal truth. You can't protect yourself after. You have to be ready now. All this uncertainty, the chaos, the warning signs coming out of the Middle East. Maybe it's nothing, maybe it's noise, but maybe it's the beginning of something bigger. Nobody really knows for sure, but waiting to find out, that's how people get hurt. Physical gold and silver are not just investments, they're insurance against the unknown, and that's why I trust Noble Gold Investments. They've helped thousands of Americans protect their retirement savings with precious metals. So don't wait until the next crisis hits to start thinking about protection. Call Noble Gold Investments today. You'll see the number on the screen, or visit nextnewsgold.com for your free information kit, because when everything else is uncertain, gold remains. Let me get back to what Secretary Rubio just revealed about keeping Americans safe overseas. Here's what caught my attention. You see, Senator Tom Cotton dropping a truth bomb that every American needs to hear. He said Iran's missile arsenal, and I quote, far exceeds the combined missile defenses of the United States, our Arab friends, and Israel combined. So let that sink in for a moment. The threat wasn't going to get better if we waited 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. It was getting worse every single day. And the Democrats, they wanted President Trump to wait. Well, what exactly for? Taking a look now, here is Secretary Marco Rubio warning citizens in the Middle East, your safety and security is our number one priority. Listen.
At the Department of State, our number one priority is the safety and the security of American citizens everywhere in the world. Now, with what's going on in the Middle East with Operation Epic Fury and the cowardly attacks that we're seeing from Iran against Gulf countries, I wanted to take this chance to speak directly to Americans who are in the Middle East about the work we are doing to try to keep you safe. So immediately following the beginning of this operation, at my direction, the State Department activated a 24/7 task force, surging personnel and resources necessary to help provide American citizens with up-to-the-minute safety and security information. Now, in order to receive these updates from the nearest U.S. embassy or consulate, you have to register with the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program. You have to register with STEP, and here's where you do it. You go to step.state.gov. That's step.state.gov and register so we can reach you. We also encourage Americans abroad to follow our security updates for U.S. citizens channel on WhatsApp and follow @TravelGov on social media as well. The latest alerts are also available on travel.state.gov. That's our website, travel.state.gov. Finally, Americans in the Middle East, you can reach the Department of State 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at the following phone number: 1-202-501-4444. That's 1-202-501-4444.
So there you have Secretary Marco Rubio laying out the evacuation plan, warning to Americans abroad takes on deadly urgency as reports emerge of direct attack on a diplomatic facility. Nick Sortor, moments ago, it's confirmed a large fire engulfing the U.S. consulate in Dubai. Local reports say the building was hit with an Iranian drone, but not able to corroborate the claim yet. Pray for the U.S. Marines who guard this consulate. Here is the stunning video that is now emerging. So you can see the consulate in Dubai has now been direct attack. Explosions heard in the vicinity of the U.S. consulate in Dubai. Reports from the ground seem to show the building on fire after being targeted. It's unknown if the consulate was manned at the time. Here's some more video. You can see the smoke and fire rising. Now, the Dubai consulate fire exposes the administration's apparent lack of preparedness, with Trump scrambling to explain why thousands of Americans were caught off guard. Here is a reporter in the Oval Office asking that thousands of Americans are stranded. Why wasn't there an evacuation plan? Well, I should point out that we did actually report last week that immediate evacuations were ordered by the United States, the State Department. So there was an order already in place. But here is the president responding to the reporter.
Commercial air travel right now is severely restricted in the Middle East, and thousands of Americans are stranded. Why wasn't there an evacuation plan, and will you send planes to get people out?
Well, because it happened all very quickly. We thought, and I thought maybe more so than most, I could ask Marco, but I thought we were going to have a situation where we were going to be attacked. They were getting ready to attack Israel. They were getting ready to attack others. You're seeing that right now. And a lot of those missiles that are hitting in, those are stationary. Those were aimed there for a long period of time at these other countries. So I think I was right about that. We attacked first. And if we didn't, it could have been, look, we're really decimating them. They're being decimated.
So President Trump saying the defense about the evacuation sets up perfectly the Republican lawmakers who are taking a much harder line on Iran's decades-long threat. Here's Senator Mullen.
I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. No one can deny that Iran has been a threat to the United States for 47 years. Since November of 1979, when they took 66 students or 66 hostages, all the way up till June of 2025, they have been attacking the United States, home and abroad if they could, and they've killed thousands and injured thousands. And so to deny that they're not a threat is impossible. But the process to which the Democrats want to complain about what President Trump is doing here is the same Democrats that's been silent when Joe Biden did the same thing and Barack Obama did the same thing.
Senator Mullen's historical context about Iran's 47-year threat campaign builds the case for the military experts who say action was long overdue. USWP Colby.
Well, Senator, I think I can lay out once again the objectives of the military campaign, which have been directed by the president and were elucidated by Secretary Hegseth and General Kane yesterday in their briefing, which are focused on addressing the ability of the Islamic Republic to project military power against, of course, us, our bases, our forces, et cetera, as well as our allies and partners in the region and beyond. And that's primarily the missile forces of the Islamic Republic, which had obviously been growing substantially and posed a very serious threat to all of those equities that I just mentioned, as well as the ability to produce that, and then the Iranian Navy. Those are the primary focus of the military campaign. I do think those are scoped and reasonable objectives that can be attained. I think at the same time, the president, for instance, has made comments, and I wouldn't speak for him, but my interpretation of how the military campaign nests under that is he has urged the Iranian people to take this unprecedented opportunity to, supplant or overthrow this oppressive Islamic Republic. But the military campaign, as detailed, that he has directed, is focused on the power projection capabilities. And at the end of this campaign, yes, primarily relying on aerospace and maritime forces, that will have substantially set back a threat that, sir, you just yourself detailed as such a, opprobrious and noxious threat.
So the threat certainly is real. Military strategists backing Trump's timing, while Senator Cotton delivers closing argument on why waiting would have been catastrophic. Listen.
I thought Secretaries Rubio and Hegseth, Chairman Kaine, and Director Ratcliffe did a very good job of laying out the intelligence and the current state of operations. The simple reality is Iran has a vast missile arsenal that far exceeds the combined missile defenses of the United States, our Arab friends, and Israel. And it gets much worse every single month. That is an unacceptable risk for the United States. It's an existential risk for our Arab friends in Israel. And it wouldn't get better if we waited for 6 or 12 or 18 months to find a more imminent risk. In fact, Iran has posed an imminent risk to the United States for 47 years as they've maimed and killed thousands of Americans without that vast missile arsenal. The president was right to act when he did.
So here is what this really means. For the first time in decades, nearly 5 decades, an American president looked at the Iranian threat and said, no more half measures, no more strongly worded letters, no more pallets of cash, hoping they'll play nice. President Trump recognized what the intelligence community has been screaming for years. Iran's capabilities were growing faster than our defenses could keep up, and every month that we waited, the threat got worse. Every diplomatic gesture was met with more American blood spilled. The establishment wanted to kick this can down the road for another administration to deal with, but Donald Trump doesn't operate that way. He saw the threat, he assessed the risk, and he acted decisively to protect American lives. That's not reckless. That, my friends, is called leadership. So here's my question for you today. After 47 years of Iranian aggression, after thousands of Americans killed and wounded, after hostage crises and embassy bombings and attacks on our soldiers, do you think President Trump was right to finally take decisive military action against Iran? Simple yes or no in the comments below. And hit that subscribe button. Ring the notification bell so you never miss our breaking coverage, and share this video with everyone who needs to hear the truth that the mainstream media won't tell them. We're living through historic times, folks, and you deserve to know what is really happening. And make sure you check out the Next News merch shelf below this video to show your support for independent conservative journalism. We're fighting every single day to bring you the truth. I'm Gary Franchi. Stay informed and stay free.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now. You know out.